Bill, Chang.
Hello. I don't know if you can hear my voice. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay, great. It's been a little bit. It's my honor to be here and having the floor and with you tonight. Thank you for inviting me, Jay and Rita. It's my pleasure. My name is Bill. You can just call me Bill because my Chinese name is difficult to be translated in English. So just call me Bill. And I've noticed that there is another Bill in your club. And also William. So Bill is the small nickname of William, and we are all, like poems. It's a good time to spend this evening with you guys. So I'm going to share my screen right now. So I just click my button here. See if you can see. Okay, can you see my screen right now?
Yes.
Okay. So, yeah. Thank you again for inviting me, and I'm going to try to conclude my self-introduction with my experience in my job and the process of my career within 50 minutes, more or less. So I'm going to talk about how to be a micropreneur in this space age. As you can see that my company, HelioX Cosmos, established in 2018. I'm still working alone, and there's only one man in my company, of course, myself. I call myself CEO, but yeah, actually, there's one person in my company, so I say what I did, and I did what I said. So, well, that's a very strange and a very interesting situation right now. But I think this is a good way to speed up and to explore more things that I have to take care of everything from very small to the very big. Okay, so this is my company and my logo. So I designed my company's logo as well as the slogan and everything from scratch. So thank you for your introduction. That my company is the first cislunar commercial space company in Taiwan. Cislunar means the space between the Earth and the Moon. So I will tell you why I call my company is the first cislunar commercial space service provider in Taiwan later. So actually, we launched satellites. Yes, the artificial satellites. As you could see, like Starlink satellites, or even much bigger, Hubble space telescope, or other satellites in the sky. And so we also do space business consulting and on-orbit verification service. So we have done and reached out to a variety of different rocket providers, as well as the launch providers, and including SpaceX. So SpaceX is a very hot and a very leading keyword in current space market and industry. So I believe you have heard of the Elon Musk, and which is the founder of SpaceX and the Tesla, and any other small groups of businesses. And we work with the SpaceX for years to launch Taiwanese satellite and as well as the other small group of space experimental devices. We have coordinated with the different launch providers around the world, and including Russia, but currently we do not use Russian rocket. They don't want to carry out any kind of Western satellites either. So we use American rocket like SpaceX Falcon 9 and European rockets like Vega and other rockets, including Japanese rockets. So this is the one picture that from last year we launched, before we launched this Taiwanese small satellite called IdeaSat. You can see that's lots of stuff on the rocket right now, and below the left, you can see the picture left. On left, there's some panel-shaped things on top of the rocket. It's a Starlink satellite, so it's as thin as about 20 centimeters when it is folded, and when you deploy it, it could much bigger, like 3 meters long. So we do small satellite rideshare launch services, and we also deploy satellites from International Space Station. Well, just remember that none of this is fictional. So it's currently happening. It's not science fiction. I thought it was science fiction when I was teenage, but now it's reality. And this is a real picture taken by the astronauts on board the International Space Station. This is a Japanese space station module. We use this platform to perform components or other electrical systems to verify their capability and their reliability on the orbit, and as well as the microgravity experiment services. And for most of you might be very interested in about the space funeral. And we also do space funeral, but instead of putting a lot of ashes on the orbit and opening the path and to spread it all over the atmosphere, we just launch a very small fraction of human body, let's say a bone left over into the orbit. And we currently provide the space funeral for pets, because there's lots of legal restrictions still in Taiwan to provide such services. So we approached to pet space funeral, and as well as the memorial card and some handicrafted some small things that we could be used to in space and to memorize someone else, and we launch it into space. So all of this begins with a childhood dream. And I would like to echo Jay's presentation. It's like just to make it happen, and it took a lot of time, but as long as you took the first step, then you reach to the goal. When I was 3 years old, I saw this picture on the screen of the midday news, and since then I wanted to be an astronaut when I was 3. But you know, to be an astronaut is very difficult, and since Taiwan is another country, and astronaut is official, you know, worker for the nation. I have tried to apply Japanese astronaut before, but they need my nationality to be a Japanese. I gave it up and I back to Taiwan. I think that it's nonsense to work for Japan or for other countries to be their astronauts instead of being a Taiwanese astronaut. And when I was 17, no, when I was 15, I wrote my first ever email to NASA, and they gave me lots of things and lots of materials to help me understand what's going on currently in space field, and what was going to be in the future. And I was quite very inspired since then. as you can see that my specialty is in space architecture. I also completed some online courses as well as the physical courses about designing a lunar habitation system, which is to design a living space on the moon, which is going to be happen in the next 20 or 30 years. Let's see. So let's back to a space micropreneur. So how could I be a micropreneur in this space age? And since every company seems like a group of people formed of forged by a group of people, and but as you can see that the satellites are getting smaller and smaller. Previously, it's such this big, about 300 kilograms, but currently the small satellite could be this small. As small as a loaf of a bread, a toast, and even smaller. So make it simpler and easier and cheaper. So I focused on the my career for making smaller satellites and with the human touch and make it speedy. So as well as the connect to the customer and the service provider. So this is what I do, like a broker in this space age. So I realized that how limited time I have, but I would like to show you some 4 Taiwan's firsts that I have achieved last year. One is that I launched Taiwan's national CubeSat mission. CubeSat means a very small satellite, as small as 10 by 10 by 10 centimeters. And last year, on board the Falcon 9 Transporter 1 mission. And this is a real picture of the satellite. It was classified before, but now it is open to everyone. So on top right, it was my head. So please ignore it. This is a small satellite. It performed the same function as the satellite. So I transported to America to Cape Canaveral to launch it. So this is during the aggregation period, and we loaded on the rocket and put it in the fairing. Was the real life streaming from SpaceX. I touched the satellite, and now I see the satellite in the on top of the rocket. It was very touching, and we launched it into the orbit, and currently it's here. So it's working and moving around the Earth. The second one is that we signed agreement with the Central University to land Taiwanese instrument on the moon. So this is the day we signed the agreement, and this is the principal of the Central University, and we are going to land our instrument on the moon as soon as the fourth quarter of 2023. And this is the donation webpage of the National Central University. So if you have chance, if you're interested in helping us to land our instrument, first Taiwanese instrument on the moon, just visit the website and see how you could give some effort on it. Okay, the third Taiwanese first is that we launched the first national biology experiment into space. It was last year before Christmas, and we launched it to the International Space Station, like this very small samples. We used it to analyze the basic structure of virus. And this is the package after before we launched into space. And this is the real picture taken taken inside the International Space Station by astronauts. And then they opened it, the case and put it into the specific instrument to crystallize the protein. I think there are lots of professional keywords here, but if you are interested in protein crystallization, just check it out. It's very interesting and is very helpful for biochemical research and as well as for vaccine development. Since the microgravity is everywhere in space, so the crystal in space, protein crystal in space can grow much bigger than on Earth. Okay, so, and the fourth one is that we launch student-made cards from Mindao Senior High School into space. It was this year, 1st of April, I remember. And these are cards that written by students, and we collect it and we seal it in the satellite and we launch it into space. So it was the first cultural approach and activity in space in Taiwan. We launched it on board the SpaceX Falcon 9 Transporter 4 mission this year, and currently its location is around the Earth. And you can type Link Tower 1, and you can find the orbit and how it goes when it travels around and pass through the sky of Taiwan. So if you would like to establish your own business, let's say not space business or other kind of businesses, just would like to give you a friendly reminder. Okay, as you can see that creating your own business like jumping out of the aircraft. Okay, you would never know what would happen until the time and until the moment that your parachute opens. So all you could do is just wish your luck and cross your fingers and do your best during the whole trip. So there's a philosophy I also said to myself that 9 to 10. 9 is the biggest number from 0 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then if you want to go to the next step, you have to, make yourself 0, and then a new possibility will be born. So some people would say that it seems like neutralizing yourself, but I see it is a chance. So if I want to make something or deliver something that you could take away tonight, then I will quote Thomas Dillon's poem, "Do not go gentle into that good night. Rage, rage against the dying of the light." This is the main spirit that I started my own business, and I hope that this kind of a spirit will influence everyone, and including whatever you do, just try not to make yourself regret. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Thank you so much, Bill, for your wonderful speech. You introduced your micro-entrepreneur business, and you shared to us about your research, and you choose to stay in Taiwan rather than work for Japan or States. And this means a lot for us because you are doing for our future. So let's give Bill a big applause.
Thanks a lot.
Does anyone have any question?
I'm sorry I couldn't be there physically because I'm space right now.
Okay, I just wondering if you send the past funeral thing into the space, and how can you ensure that it won't be the trash in the space? It won't hit something else.
Okay, this is a very great question, and I also frequently ask the question when I always giving this kind of speech to the others. You're right. It is very difficult to ensure that these things could not be any kind of space debris or garbages, but since this kind of satellites will never go to a higher orbit. So its lower orbit means within 1,000 kilometers altitude. So it will gradually re-enter the atmosphere. So it seems like you burn your grandmother or grandfather again, just into re-entering the atmosphere and incinerate it. So we're not going to, send a human body there. Don't get me wrong. Okay, we don't send human body, dead body there. We just send a very small, a few grams of small bones or something like that into space. So don't worry. And we don't send ashes, a lot of ashes, and in the space and open it and spread it all over the atmosphere. And when it comes to rainy days, you test your grandfather, you test your grandmother. That would be very interesting, but very creepy. So don't worry about that. We seal it in the very high, high safety and high tight, airtight small container. So to ensure that nothing will bump into the space and bump into here and there and hit astronauts. So don't worry about that. But I think that's a very good question, and I will let you know if you are interested in, and just let me know.
Thank you for the answer. I know you just find another way to burn it out.
Not just we're not going to use the atmosphere like a big incinerator, but the meaning of this kind of business or activity is much bigger than just burn something and or reburn something on in the sky. But we like to develop a series of a tracking system to allow our consumers, our customers to track their family, their beloved in space, in the starry sky, in the star. So we're trying to do that, but hey, we just launched a bunch of memory cards into space, including some students' family pictures. So they will be there for at least 10 years. So let's hope who will find that first. Okay. Hope not aliens.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you.
So now we are going to Taiwan's first report.
Okay, our first speaker, Annie, 12 minutes 36 seconds. J, 9 minutes and 22 seconds. Disqualify overtime.
Good bird. And the next is guest introduction. The guest master is our charming lady, Monica Zhu.
Good evening, I'm Monica Zhu. I'm tonight guest master. Now tonight we have six guests visit our meeting. I wish all of our guests have the wonderful meeting with us tonight. First, I will introduce the gentleman, very Roy to say hello to us. Welcome, Wiley. Wiley, I'm sorry, Wiley. Wiley.
Hello. Hi. Yep. My name's Wiley. My mother club is Dolly Toastmasters, so I'm very happy to say I'm good friends with my friend Gary.
Hello, Wiley.
And I can say very honestly, probably my favorite person in all of Toastmasters. So I wish I still had my Fridays free. I wish I still lived closer to Dolly Toastmasters, but I'm in this area, I'm in this neighborhood, so I decided to try another club. So here I am. So nice to meet everyone.
Thank you, Wiley. Join us tonight. He come here very early, and is our first guest here. Thank you. Yeah, welcome. And the second guest is Bill Chang, our speaker. Can you say hello to us?
Me? Yes, yeah, I'm saying, it's hello from the space. May peace and love around the world. Love. Live long and prosper.
Okay,
I hope there's
thank
someone
you.
is tracking. Thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you, Bill Chang. And the third one, our guest is Junlin Lee. Welcome, Junlin Lee. Can you say hello to us?
Hi, everyone. It's a very enjoyable evening with you guys. And I'm here. Actually, it's called for human resource to help because Jay Lee and me, we are going to hold a youth leadership program for scouts. Those scouts, they are going to join the so-called World Scout Jamboree in Korea 2023. So they have 1 year to prepare for their English competitions. You know, those scouts, they are just 14 to 18 years old. So this could be their first or very unique opportunity to establish their confidence to speak in English or to try to communicate with others. So if Jay Lee called you, please join us. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Jolene. Come visit us. Then the third one is our VIP guest, Gary Chang. Can you say hello to us?
Yes.
Gary.
Hello, everyone. My name is
Hi.
Gary Chang. I'm current president of Dali Club. And today is the last minute decision that I certainly, the reason because we are also having a hybrid meeting. And JD told us that your club is holding hybrid meeting for some time. So this is the best opportunity for me to learn how to run a hybrid meeting much more successfully. And especially it's a total surprise, but a very good surprise to see Wiley. Hey, Wiley. I'm glad that you find another one that's really close to you. Otherwise, it could be a struggle. So, and as I mentioned, we are also holding hybrid meetings. So hopefully we can have you as guests as well, because we are running short of members currently. JD knows that, and he has been very, 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 very supportive. And that's another reason I showed up to kind of support him, but I didn't know he's a speaker. And I would like to say, last, I would like to say that the officer training was incredibly successful, as JD said. So he didn't lie. Okay. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you for Gary's support and welcome to visit us. And the fifth one, the VIP guest is Soya Huang. Soya Huang, can you say hello to us?
Hello, good evening. I'm
Good
Soya. I'm FYTC. I'm SAA, and I saw your AD on our group. It's about the space. Yes, I work in Chengfu. Chengfu is in Houli area. It's about high tech and some fly, some semi parts. So I really interested from your topic. So and I just go this time yesterday I go to Taiwan Art Museum, and I saw this. Can you see this? Maybe two. Okay, it's about a space in Indonesia. It's about space Mars. It's a research session. It's really interesting in our Taiwan Art Museum. So I also how to say it? Let me think. I also think you may have time to see this topic. It's about high tech, and it's really interesting. And your meeting is really perfect. Made me amazing to think about some question. Just I just say you are awesome. All right. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Welcome so far, join our meeting, and welcome next time we can see you again. Then the next one, the guest is Saul, our good friend. Saul, can you talk to us?
Absolutely. Good evening, everyone, and good morning in case anybody's in the early part of the day, as I am. My name is Sal Sharp, and I am a Toastmaster from Orlando, Florida. And since we had Bill's very interesting speech today, I would just like to say a little bit about NASA, because NASA is on my doorstep. It's 50 miles from my home. So here in Florida, sometimes we do drive over to the Space Coast to see the launches of the satellite, of the rockets from NASA. And it's rather interesting. For safety reasons, we're not allowed within 3 miles of NASA in case of an explosion. So we have to park far away. But in my personal experience, the best launches I have ever seen are right here at home in Orlando, and I wasn't even planning, and I'm just driving down the street and I see a rocket go up, and that's a kind of novel experience in life. You can't really see the rocket, massive as it is. What you mostly see is the white fumes coming from behind it. So when it goes up, you just see mostly the tail, but when it comes home and it breaks the sound barrier, our homes literally shake. It's really quite something. And there's this really low boom sounding. And sometimes we've had guests in the house and the house is shaking, this boom. And like, what was that? And we say, oh no, that's just the satellites coming home, satellite breaking through the sound barriers. So it's an interesting place to live. It's a fascinating place to visit. Enough from me, Madam Toastmaster.
So if I may, you're going to about see another very big launch just a week later. Artemis.
Okay.
Artemis, the big launch there. So there's very
Do you have the date?
Rocket far. No, but I will see online. And it's the first ever attempt to bring human back to the moon. This manned cruise space station. They're going to launch the very big rocket next week, so stay tuned.
I'll keep an eye out for it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you all our VIP guests join us. I will return my control to Toastmaster. Thank you.
Thanks for toast.